But Will wanted to know, is it a spread or a pro style? Somebody asked him, responded, he calls it the spread coast. And what it is, it's a combination of the West Coast and the spread offense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Will, here's the big difference between the two. Number one, the West Coast. The West Coast offense is a more of a passing offense, but it's a controlled passing on offense that stretches the defense horizontally. The West Coast, people don't know this. People know that it was invented by Bill Walsh. They don't know it was actually invented by Bill Walsh when he was an assistant with the Cincinnati Bengals in the early 70s. They had a great quarterback named Greg Cook who went down with shoulder problems that ended his career. The quarterback that they picked up was a quarterback named Virgil Carter. Well, Virgil had a lot of accuracy, good accuracy, but did not have an arm strength to go deep. So he invented this West Coast offense as a matter of necessity because Virgil Carter couldn't really throw deep.
Right.
So it's an offense that spreads you in terms of pattern-wise, the route tree. It spreads you horizontally. So it makes you to cover sideline to sideline. So what you're going to see in a West Coast is a lot of outs, short outs, is a lot of quick slants, is a lot of passes out to the backfield on like swing patterns. You're going to see that's what the West Coast offense does. So it's a passing offense, predominantly still runs the ball very well, but uses the running backs out of the backfield and short patterns, okay, and spreads the defense side to side. Before the West Coast was invented, almost all the passing games were vertical, meaning you're looking at a deep pattern or two deep patterns, and then the progression gets shorter. You start going to the shorter routes. So it was always vertical minded, like the Raiders, the old Al Davis, where it was a mad bomber, Darryl LaMonica throws deep. West Coast changed everything and made it spread them horizontally. It caught on because after Bill Walsh got the head coaching job with the 49ers, Joe Montana comes in, not known for having the strongest arm, perfect guy, but great accuracy, perfect guy for the West Coast. So the West Coast a lot of times will depend on run after the catch. That's why accuracy is so important. That's why I thought it was Jarren Williams was the best guy. Because those short patterns, you want to throw them. How many times did we see Jerry Rice in the West Coast catch a slant and take it 80 yards? He would split the safeties and be gone. Okay? So you can still hit home runs, but a lot of times it'll be on shorter patterns that the receiver runs after the catch and turns it into a home run. So it spreads you wide. Okay? That's what the West Coast is designed. Now, the spread offense, people think that it's a passing offense. Yes, it has a lot of passing, but it's really designed as a run offense predominantly, because what you're doing is, that's why it's called the spread. You're spreading the team with formations, not with patterns. So that's when you're going 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide with only one back. And then you start spreading them out wide. They line up out wide. What are you forced to do? You're forced to spread your defense out wide. So then the guys have more space. Ideally, in a spread, somewhat similar to what the old run and shoot was, you're looking at quickness of receivers. You know, you might have one 6'3" guy or 2 6'3" guys to line up as outside receivers, but you want a lot of those quicker receivers, smaller receivers that can create damage in space. So what the spread is trying to do is spread you out wide. Now, if you have to change your formation as a defense, if I show up with 4 wide receivers, you're going to have to play dime. Okay? So now what happens? Now you have a dime defense where you have 6 defensive backs and you only have 5 other players. So you have 4 linemen and 1 linebacker. I have 5 offensive linemen. So what happens? I can run the ball right at you. And then the spread, the tempo, running a fast tempo, making you keep whatever defense you pick. If you pick a dime or if you pick a nickel, then they make you stay in that defense because they start running up tempo. Okay, people thought like Oregon that when they were at their best a few years ago, that look what they're doing. It wasn't a pass happy offense. They actually ran the ball. Chip Kelly ran the ball a bunch. Okay, but they spread you out with formation, and that way it leaves the box clear of traffic. So you're also looking for running backs that are not necessarily your power backs, but your scat backs that can cause damage in space. Okay, so in the spread, you're going to see that type of formation is spreading the defense, but it doesn't really impact the route tree like a West Coast offense impacts the route tree, the routes that the guys can run. Okay, I hope that you think I made it as concise as and understand that you can understand and understandable as possible.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, finish.
No. So a spread coast is a combination of both offenses. It has the spread aspect of it, of what you're going to do to the defense with formation, a lot of times with motion, and after they break from the huddle, and sometimes they won't huddle. A lot of spread teams go no huddle, and that's where you see you start holding up the signs and stuff like that, the different signs that mean different things. So they want to spread you out with formation. So what you'll see with Dan Enos, who runs a spread coast, which is a combination, is spreading him out with formation and then doing a lot of those passes that spread you out sideways, horizontally, as opposed to just vertically. So he's going to have the West Coast concepts with the spread concepts in terms of what he does with formation, and you're still going to see some deep shots, obviously, because you want to take advantage of both. But that's what Dan Enos likes running, and that's why he calls it the spread coast. Has those two aspects to it, that the West Coast passing of stretching a team horizontally, and then the spread of doing it with formation and then leaving that box. That's why I think he's going to run the ball. People forget Alex Collins ran for like 1,500 yards at Arkansas when Dan Enos was the offensive coordinator in Arkansas. So he's going to believe in that run, and that's why Bill Kay had asked the question earlier about, are we going to spread it or run it down their throat? And the answer was both. Because the other thing that you can do when you run the spread coast is, now if you spread them out with formation, we can spread them out, but with formation, but have Brevin Jordan and Will Mallory in the game. So now if you don't play dime, then you got to put a linebacker on either Brevin Jordan or Will Mallory. Good luck to you if that's the case. And, oh, by the way, if you do, go dime, then guess what happens? Then we run the ball right down the throat, and then Will Mallory stays in the tight end, and Brevin Jordan stays as an H-back, and we run it right down your throat. And, oh, by the way, we go up tempo so you can't substitute. So those are how he runs that spread coast offense. So I think that explains it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Ryan Little. Yoga.